Alright, I'll show you how I do my 5HP19 valve bodies. 27 torques on all these. I keep them separated. Put a pile for the front ones and a pile for the back ones. Once you get that one off, there's a piece on the back that's going to come loose. Actually, there's two pieces. This one's going to stay attached to your wiring harness. This one here is going to be loose. So this is going to come off now. I just leave this all together. Wash that all up together. This is where the critical part is. You're going to want to separate your plate off of here. There's a gasket on the back side. Otherwise, my advice would be to slide it off, but it's not going to do that. But so what you want to do is you want to pick this thing up, and then you want to flip it over, and hopefully everything will stick to where it belongs. A lot of times you can come in here with a scribe or a drill bit or something. It doesn't really matter. Just go in here on these little holes and push down, and these little orifices hopefully will drop off and not stick to your plate. Some of them are going to. So once you get this separated, just take it and flip it straight up. Alright, look at all the ones that stuck. Now, we know everything is opposite, so this yellow one is going to go over here. So what I do is I just start taking them off the plate, sticking them back where they go.
This, I don't want to interrupt you and mess up your work. Have you seen this hubs with the vacuum line?
Check the design out on these boards with these front hub bearings. You have to apply vacuum in order to get that ring to expand and locks into your axle. So a vacuum.
No, that seems like a really stupid way to do something.
Well, that side has got the vacuum lines to the hubs. They got a noise. They complain about a noise, like a difference.
Like it's probably stripped out.
Well, I think it's a tire noise, but anyway, I got it up in there. That's how they mark. I never support, you know, engineers.
Yeah, it seemed like a really dumb way to do something. Alright, looks like we got all of them off. You saw that one was stuck underneath the gasket. You gotta, hopefully none of them go up underneath it. Try to not rip your gasket, because you want to be able to match your new gasket up and make damn sure that all the holes are the same. Alright, so we got that off. Now I'm going to take a picture of this over here. Not only am I going to take a picture of it, I'm going to get a rag and I'm going to lay everything out exactly the order it comes out of here. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll mark the color, like, you know, B for brown, G for green, P for purple, Y for yellow. And if I got a, you know, I got a green, so gray is, I would put GR or something. I'd come up with something. Some of them are clear, some of them are white. You do have a couple check balls in here. So, and then you got dampeners right here. And there's rubber on the back side of those. You're going to want to change those out. So let me go get this valve body cleaned up, and then we'll come back. Alright, get your gasket, stick it on here. You're going to want to look at both sides, hold it up to the light if you need to. You're going to make sure that every single hole is the same. Alright, that's good. We can throw our old gasket away. Plate here, and we got our orifices all laid out. Now, don't necessarily rely on the colors of these things. Sometimes the color can be different, but the size of the hole be the same. The size of the hole is what you're really concerned with. And they're not all the same, so, and trying to get this information is like pulling teeth, man. It's hard to come by. That's why you need to be very careful when you're doing these. In fact, this valve body, they normally don't have stuck valves.
Hey Tom.
Yes.
Hey Tom, did Mario say something about this transit to you or anything?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to get a valve body for it.
Why? What's it doing right now?
Says it's flare shifting, banging into gear, delayed reverse engagement, banging into reverse.
Okay. Let me know what we got to do with it.
Alright, depending on your kit and depending on your valve body is what you're going to have. Some of them have these little rubber pieces that look like this. Some of them have these dampeners like this. Sometimes in the kit, all you're going to get is that little rubber tip. You just pull it off and stick your new one in it. But what happens is these can develop holes in them, and these things here will get flat. And you look here, this one is not that flat, that one's really flat, that one's really flat. Once they start getting flattened out like that, you get shifter problems. So you always want to make sure that you got new rubber on there. Sonex makes the kind that have a spring underneath them and they get rid of that rubber. That's fine. I don't put Sonex kits in this. I think the way to go, and I don't know if you can do it anymore, ZF used to have a website that you could go to, and they've since gotten rid of the website, but you used to be able to go there yourself and pull up all the valve body schematics of these things. And when these bores, especially like your pressure regulator bore, this bore right here, we're going to take a look at it. When this bore gets wore out, then you're going to of course end up with problems. But you could buy this casting right here empty and just transfer all your valves over into it, and that's really the way to go. And like I said, you used to be able to go look all that up yourself, call your parts guy, tell them exactly which part number you needed, and you could get it. But has become exponentially more difficult now. They don't do that anymore. I haven't had to order one in a long time, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the way to go. So let's go ahead and put our gasket on here. We're going to put our plate on here so that none of this comes flying out. Also, when you're doing this, like I got that solvent tank, I got the safety clean machine. I make sure it's empty of everything and it's cleaned out. That way, if I missed one of these that kind of fell off into a oil groove or whatever, and when I go and rinse this out, I'm going to find it in that solvent tank in there, and I'm going to know I missed one somewhere. And it's very easy to do. So let's set this out the way. And now we got to look at a few things in here. We're going to open this up. There's accumulators. We're going to pull this bore out, make sure it's not worn, and then there's a couple accumulators in here. We're going to make sure that they're not cracked. When we get down here to the end, it's going to be very spring loaded. Alright, here's our first accumulator. We're going to make sure it has no cracks in it. It's our spring. There's a valve down there behind. We're going to check this spring. I'm going to check this accumulator. Looks like we're okay. I've only seen one that was ever cracked, but it does happen, so something to be aware of. Now I'm going to pull this bore out and this valve out. See, it's packed full of clutch material. Go ahead and set this one to the side. Pull this valve out here. Come on. Alright, we're starting to delaminate just a little bit, looks like. Yeah, maybe not. Right here on the edge, a little bit is gone. I think we're okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go blow this bore out so I can get a good view of it. Alright, we're going to get our flashlight. I already told him I wanted the valve body. Well, okay, just let me know what you decide. I need a valve body for it. Alright, there is a little bit of wear on this land and on this land, but it's not horrible. I think we'll be fine. Go ahead and put our valve back in. And make sure not put these in backwards. Yeah, getting this all down in there, because you got to get these valves to line up. It'll be a little bit tricky. And when you tighten this down, make sure it's pulled back just a little bit. You do not want this sitting down so far it lifts it up off the plate. In fact, it'd probably be better to stick it on the plate and make sure it's flat, and then tighten these up. But you're only going to be able to do one at a time because they face each other, and you won't be able to get to them once you put the valve body all the way together. I'm just going to pull back on it just a little bit and start in the center. Oop, grab my skin. There we go. Our manual valve's in there. It's facing this way. This has got to sit down in the valve body. Now we got this one here. I'm going to do the same thing. There's a couple accumulators in it. There's this little orifice, plastic orifice down here. Make sure you keep your thumb or something over that when you're blowing this out. That thing doesn't disappear. You need to have that in there. So let's see. I think it's this one right here. And depending on which one you have, this is the 5HP19. There's a 5HP19 FLA. It's a little bit different. Similar, but the configuration is a little bit different. So we're looking good on that. Let's stick this back in there. Let's see. I think we needed to come from the other side. I took that out the wrong way. Yeah, I did. I don't know how I got it out, but it shouldn't have come out that way. Now I've got myself all jammed up. There we go. Oh, come on now. Quit being like that. Alright. Get down in the hole. There we go. Alright, now we can put our halves back together. Put the front one on. Our line-up pin has to go in there. Our manual valve has to go in this slot. Make sure we're nice and flat. Let's see here. Remember which ones go where. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, we got long ones and we got short ones. All the short ones can go in. Right now you want to leave it loose. I'm going to leave everything loose until everything's on there. And we got this half of the valve body going to sit right here. And our long bolts come in, hold that in. Come on, line up. There we go. You could cut a couple bolts off and use them as line-up bolts. Probably a good idea to do that instead of having to try to hold these things in place like this. Now at this point we could have left this loose, and then once we got this down flat, holding it down, then we could come in and tighten it up. We got the same thing here. We put our short bolts in. And all the skinny bolts like this, you see you got two different bolts. All skinny bolts go in small holes. All these like this go in the bigger holes. See, right there. This one is on the back there. That's our long bolts go in here. start in the center and work our way out. Alright, and we just got to put our O-rings on our wiring harness, and it's ready to go on. Make sure that your manual valve is moving nice and free. I have made the mistake before of not getting this quite right, and you go to put it on the case and then your manual valve is not working properly, and you got to take it back off and loosen all this crap back up. Alright, see if we can get a good picture of that there. Get some focus on it. That is your Stukel number right there. 10060, and then whatever those numbers are behind it. See, what's it say? Stuklisten? We just call it Stukel number. Anyway, that is what you need to get the parts for this. Any BMW, any ZF unit.